In this lesson, we're taking a variable expression and replacing specific numbers everywhere where we see an x. Whenever I put one of these numbers in, I'm going to put it in parentheses so that we can think back to lesson 1 in our order of operations and make sure we're applying the right steps so that we get the right answer. So, for the first 5 questions, we're going to try it first with x equaling 1 and then with x equaling -7. When we get 3x and we try it with x equals 1, it becomes 3 times 1, which is 3. When we try it with -7, it becomes 3 times -7, which is -21. So we want to choose the answer choice that says 3, -21. For problem 2, we're going to be doing -9 times 1 to give us -9, and -9 times -7. In the second case, we're taking a negative times a negative, which makes it a positive. So this becomes a positive 63. That's why we're choosing the answer choice -9, positive 63. In problem 3, we're plugging in for this x and adding 4. So it's going to become 1 plus 4, which gives me 5, and -7 plus 4. In this case, I like to think of negative and positive numbers like having money or owing money. So I think of this -7 as I owe somebody $7. This positive 4 means I've paid them back 4 of those dollars. If I owed somebody $7 and I've paid them back 4, I still owe them 3. That's why this is a -3. So my final answers would be 5, -3. When I plug into number 4, it becomes 3 minus 1, which just gives me 2, and it becomes 3 minus a -7. This double negative is a little tricky. Really, this negative is an implied -1, so it becomes -1 times a -7. Negative times a negative gives me a positive. That's why this turns into 3 plus 7. So if you see a negative outside of a negative number, the 2 negatives make a positive. My final answer then would be 10, so I'd record the answer to the question as 2, 10. Final one, I'm plugging in for 5x plus 1, so it becomes 5 times 1 plus 1. That becomes 5 plus 1, or just 6. And then I do 5 times -7 plus 1. That becomes -35 plus 1, or -34. So my final answer for this problem would be 6, -34. For problems 6 through 10, we're now evaluating if x equals -3 and if x equals +5. So for the first one, it's going to become 2 times -3. Positive times a negative gives me a negative, so I get -6. And 2 times +5, which gives me a +10. My answers are then -6, +10. For part 7, -5 times -3. Negative times a negative gives me a positive, so my answer is +15. -5 times a +5. Negative times a positive gives me a negative. 5 times 5 gives me 25. For problem 8, I'm plugging in -3 minus 2. Again, I like to picture this like owing money. I owe somebody $3, I borrow another $2, that makes me even more negative. Now I owe them the 3 and another 2 for a total of owing them $5. When I do 5 minus 2, I just get an answer of 3. So I'd record my answer as -5, 3. Sorry, above I forgot to state the answer. It was 15, -25. For problem number 9, I'm doing 2 minus a -3, and then I'm doing 2 minus 5. 2 minus a -3 is like what happened over here. We end up with 2 plus 3, because the negative times the negative gives me a positive. So when I do 2 plus 3, I get an answer of 5. For the second part of the problem, 2 minus 5, -5, +2, leaves me with a -3. So my answers would be 5, -3. Final one, when I plug in negative 3 here. It becomes 4 times negative 3 plus 7, which becomes negative 12 plus 7, which becomes negative 5. If I plug in 5, 4 times 5 plus 7 becomes 20 plus 7, which gives me a final answer of 27. So I record this as negative 5, 27.